Olean Discon is a leading manufacturer of process equipments for oil and gas sector. Also, I am a volunteer at PMI KSA chapter and I will be your host for today. Today, we are presenting a webinar on survival of the fittest during and post COVID-19 presented by Mr. Dharam Singh. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the comment section in the Zoom control panel and I will bring them up during the presentation. And we will also have time for questions at the end. Now, without further delay, we will turn the time over to our presenter. And let me introduce, it's a great pleasure for me. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce Mr. Uh, our speaker today, Mr. Dharam Singh. He is founder and CEO of WeCare Project Management from Milpitas, California, United States. He is award winner speaker, trainer, and mentor. He is an accomplished management professional with over 27 years of experience in the field of IT, telecom, government, banking, and insurance industries. With successful track record in managing large teams in a strongly customer-focused service environment and delivering complex and multi-million dollar projects. As of November 2020, he has contributed to the success of 299 global program management professionals out of 3286 across the globe. And also he has contributed for the success of 47 portfolio management professionals out of 943 with 100% successful rate. He has delivered more than 100 training programs across various locations in USA, Canada, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Dubai, India, Singapore, Canada, and Malaysia. He is also a former board of directors with PMI Sydney chapter. He is a winner of Global Training and Development Leadership Award at CHIRO Asia 25th World HRD Congress, Mumbai, India. He is also a founder of IPPI Yoga and voluntarily provides his yoga service since 2011. And PMI KSA chapter recognized WeCare Project Management for training and certification. And below are the few credentials of Mr. Dharam Singh during his entire career. And now let me introduce Mr. Dharam Singh to lead from here.
Thank you, Mohammed. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you
Yes,
hear me? Can you see me? Can you see my slides?
yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you to the chapter, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Proud to be associated with the chapter. My association with chapter is not long ago, but I have number of friends from Saudi Arabia. They have taken my services with PGMP and PFMP. And today's chapter is very relevant. Today's topic is very relevant to what we are facing, what the problem we are facing because of very well-known virus we have, that is COVID-19. And what we are trying to find today, what we're going to learn today, some strategies which will help us to not only survive, but thrive in this environment. And when people say, hang on, Dharam, how can you say that when people are suffering? So actually, it's right. Most people are suffering because of COVID, one way or other. We'll come to that. So I'd like to once again thanks my friends in PMI KSA and the president and my co-host or Mr. Javed and Mohammed, uh, both of them kind enough, and the president of the chapter and Mohanad. He was my PGMP student. He passed PGMP and he has done PFMP with me, and now he's also board of director. So all of you, your kindness has invited me to the chapter for delivering this special topic. So the topic of today is survival of fittest during and post COVID-19. And this is the picture. If you have ever studied the biology, you probably know about this man. His name is Charles Darwin. And by the way, this is not about him, it's about us. How we're going to survive. So he said, that how the mankind evolved, and he talked about evolution of life. So we're not going to talk about that. That's very clear. And so one of the transition you probably have noticed that my clear picture to with the white beard is because of COVID. No, not really. It's just I start feeling that oh, it's not a bad idea to have long hair and white beards. Give me a little bit profile.
So still you're looking handsome, by the way.
No, that's the whole reason. If I'm not looking handsome, then I will chop it off. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So as Mohammed mentioned that you're free to ask me question whenever you feel that you wanted to ask me. So put your question on chat. I will not able to see that, but Javed will able to see that, and he will point that question to me. So it's okay to bring the question in between, or we can talk at the end. So today I like to talk about this topic, COVID, and how we are suffering and how we're going to survive. Challenges faced by the PMOs, the project program and portfolio management, and what steps we can take tactically or strategically to be, past this stage, and emphasize on empathy. How you're going to work with your staff members, especially people going through some challenges, personal challenges, family challenges, and managing risk, especially the new risk we have, the new constraint we have, and the dependencies we have identified. Managing resource utilization effectively. Okay, and we look at how we're going to stabilize ourselves in the new normal. And we have a lot of other things to talk about. So Mr. Javed has already given good introduction about myself. So let me take a couple more seconds to give more introduction about myself. So this is where I stand now. I have completed my half century, and I'm feeling proud to say that I am leading PGMP and PFMP mentor. I have been training. I started teaching PGMP since 2009. This is when I was preparing for myself. At that time, I was part of PMI Sydney chapter. So just like some of the directors we have from the PMI KSA, I was Sydney chapter. So, and I know this kind of work is volunteer work. What Mohammed is doing, what Javed is doing, is all volunteer work, and they don't get paid from this. But the advantage for taking this kind of responsibility, you never know what is opening up for you. So when I took this, chapter director role in 2007, I don't know where I'm entering, what I'm going to achieve from this. But I'm very thankful to those opportunities, and because of that, I am what I am now. So I was able to attend one of the program organized by Dr. We invited Dr. Ginger Levine, and I was able to join that program, and I took from there and organized a study group, and all the way and passed the exam. So from that study group, the president of the chapter and myself passed the exam, and with the help of Dr. Ginger Levine, I start teaching initially. Then Ginger mentioned that I should write my own books, my own question bank. And because of that, I have now very stable, very good material, which is now used by most of the PGMPs and PFMP around the world. The picture you see here, this is actually me. And I have been practicing yoga for a long, long time. Yoga gives not only the physical fitness, mental fitness, presence of mind, focus. So if you've ever thought of doing yoga, yoga is not religious. Don't think as a religious. It's something for your own personal good. And this is when I was in Sydney. This is Opera House, iconic bridge. And this is the rock. If I do fall down other side, it is 10 meters down. So I did some poses, and there was a huge risk, but I took the risk. But I'm glad to say I survived, and that's why I am in front of you. So I do go around the world and speak in the conferences and running the training programs. So my first and last trip of this year, 2020, happened to be in Saudi Arabia. So I have been thinking about going to Saudi Arabia for a long time. I got an opportunity to run a program, or rather two programs, PGMP and PFMP. I was in Riyadh in February, first week of February. So that was the time when COVID started showing their, action, especially that was happening in China, Iran, and Italy. We are not thinking that it's going to impact us. We thought we are immunized, but we are not hoping that this COVID impact is so huge. It will be one of the biggest thing in 2020. And because of that, most people lost 2020 or entirely. I should not say lost, but, spend more time with the family and more working from home. So all these are, good thing to talk about, but it's not all good. Yes, I can paint a good picture about COVID and 2020. It's beyond that. The impact of COVID-19 is huge. In terms of infection, as you probably notice on the COVID meter, word meter, it is more than 54 million people worldwide got infected by COVID-19. And 1.3 million people already lost their life. Okay. And the second wave is coming out, and it's already, you've probably seen, Europe is, so many people are getting infected. US has not stopped and it start doubling up every day. I'm not very sure about the Saudi Arabia. I know it was bad sometime back. Uh, you know, Whatever it is, it has impacted a lot of organizations, many construction work as per KPMG. Uh, More than 75, $79 billion has been lost because of this COVID. A lot of construction which were happening, going very well, suddenly has to stop. A lot of projects has to be cancelled. Tourism, aviation, as you know, all this, the big airlines are impacted. The entertainment industry got impacted. So I don't know when this will be stabilized, but it's going to be a little bit more impact to many organizations which are serving people, which need people to travel or come to the theater or other things. So this is the kind of a new normal. Yes, some companies have recovered from this. So let me give you my example. As I mentioned, my first trip and the last trip of this year happened to be to Riyadh, and I know I know some people from Riyadh are also here. So I was very very happy to coming to Riyadh. And actually, I tell you, my Saudi trip was one of the best trip so far. The hospitality I got from my friends and my students and my co-host was unbelievable. There were two people came to airport to receive me. Every day somebody was there to pick me up or drop me and to drop me to airport. And I happened to get lots of dinner with different people. So it was one of the best trip I can say happened to me. But that was the only joy with my flight or travel for me. So come in February, after I came back from Saudi, I realized that the COVID is not a small thing. It's going to impact. I had lots of plan. First time I was planning to go to Germany, Italy, Greece, and I was planning to go to Australia back, and then going to Singapore, India, and plan to come back to Saudi Arabia. So this was my calendar was full up to May. I was very excited, but now with the COVID, I cannot travel, and suddenly my I was not getting any registration at all. And probably some people can share, experience, similar experience. So with this arrangement, I was feeling scared because if I'm not going, if I'm not flying, I cannot teach, and I cannot teach means I cannot earn. And I was going to Australia the first week of March, and almost reached airport. I got a call from my training organizer that Telstra, the biggest telecom company, they have decided to cancel the program. And think about it, I'm almost reaching airport with all my baggage and everything, and suddenly I'm getting message that the program is now canceled, and so basically I have to take a U-turn and come back home. I was very upset. My ticket was paid, A lot of all the arrangements were done, but that has given me an opportunity. I call them, look, instead of canceling altogether, let's keep that same time, and I will run the program from the US. So they agreed upon that, and I did the webinar through virtually, and I realized that that was a better way of delivering the work, because when I'm teaching, I cannot record, but at least when I'm walking and talking like this, I can record these sessions. So those 3 days were really awesome for me and to my participants as well, because one is I don't have to worry about my travel cost and accommodation and the flight and many other things. At the same time, I'm able to provide more value to my customer. So this has helped me to recover from where I saw and my March was negative. So if I look my financials, March was literally gone negative very badly. But suddenly in April, May, June, July, I came out from that my short recession, and still now I'm I'm doing really well. So not only I mean at the time I was able to contribute to the some people from that country, but now anybody can join my program from anywhere. So that has helped me to build a new type of program. Why I'm sharing all this? Uh, because some of you maybe in the same situation. You are worried about how I'm going to survive, with this COVID. Many people are able to, but some people are still thinking about it. So maybe you get some idea. You need to re-strategize yourself. So many airline industry, instead of focusing more on the people, now they're delivering goods for like companies like Amazon. Amazon has done really well in this period because they're now selling more stuff. To deliver those, now they are working with some of the airlines. So you need to re-strategize yourself. So as per Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives. There are many strong species. If you remember in your childhood or now, the dinosaurs were the very, very strong species. They lived on the planet for millions of years. Not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change they survive. Most adaptable to change. When things happen, you should be able to change yourself. Remodule, look at the current situation and re-strategize yourself. If you keep worrying about the situation, I don't know what's going on, how I'm going to survive, worst thing happening, it is there. We cannot change that part. What can we do in this current situation and still come out of this? Okay, that's what we have to say. So as many of you, I know you are associated with PMI, you are running projects, programs, portfolio. Some of you are running PMOs as well. But anyway, the entire organization, especially project management side, they are facing a lot of challenges. The planning, now realignment of goals of the portfolio program and projects. So, last year, November, December, your companies or your organization were looking forward to 2020. Actually, many people, whenever we used to talk, we have 2020 strategy plan or this and that, the vision. So many companies were looking towards 2020 with growing, getting more customers, more money. But now situation has changed. They have to realign themselves with the current situation. The project continuity and execution. The focus is now, how can we continue our current projects with minimum disruption? From the client point of view, many clients, your customers are facing challenges. They don't have the same number of customers, or they don't have the same growth, the money. They need more support at this stage. Think about if you are supporting in this difficult time to your customer, the chances of them to come back to you will be much higher. When they survive, they come out of this recession or the difficult time, they will be appreciating more than ever. So one of them, my friend, not friend, but he was my student at PFMP. He happened to be CTO of one of the company in New York. So I called him a couple of days ago. He said, Dharam, we are giving bonuses to our staff. Normally we don't give, but this year we are giving them bonuses. And especially because many people have struggled financially or emotionally, this is the time we want to recognize them. So in good time, if you give them bonuses, may make some difference. But when you give them, when you help somebody, especially when the challenges they are facing, going through a tough time, it is more beneficial. It will be seen much better, differently than normal time. So see how you can help your customers, your clients, to come out of this situation. So availability of resources, we have limitation of the resources, the money is limited, people are limited. We cannot have the people moving around. We need to look at the prioritization of the project because of new challenges. Management has to adopt with the new regulatory modifications. Because of the new situation, people cannot come to the offices. You are working from remote, from home. And if you come to office, then you have to organize all the sanitizers and masks. And it's a challenge. Poor delegation of tasks, you cannot delegate the task as you were doing earlier. Decision making, now risk and uncertainty is always considered, but now you have to think more. It's not anymore a risk or issue. A risk, it is now issue which is we have to deal with. Managing the delays, somehow we have to manage the delays. So if there's a delays because of this situation, you have to be in communication with the customer, and you need to tell them that this is the current situation. You're trying your best, or you're working with your customer, current staffing level to help them out as much as you can. So no, methods, not enough planning. We are kind of taking action in a hurry. So some of the planning may not go as well as we thought. Okay. So solutions. What solution do we have? What can we do in this situation? Some of the tactical way we can handle some of the situation, some action we can take now. So look for low hanging fruits. What can we do with the minimum efforts, which gives us the maximum output? This is where the Pareto diagram comes very useful. So you can do many things, but what are the first few things you can do which will give you the maximum advantage? Team communication. This is always important, but at this stage, the communication within your team is very, very important. Connecting with your staff and providing the right information, what is happening within organization, because some people are worried, their jobs and other things. So communication is very important. Risk management. Now we have different type of risk. We need to think about, because now people working from home, we need to think about if the connection is not there, the laptop is not working, the phone connection is not there. So there are different type of risk. We need to handle them differently. So when you are allowing people to work from home, which you have to, you need to think about all this risk and how we're going to support them. Resource utilization, limitation of resources. So we want to utilize those limited resources in the most effective way. Strategically, what can we do? We need to see the current strategy. Organization strategy has changed. So we need to re-strategize our projects and program and portfolio. Stakeholder engagement is more important at this stage. Yes, it's always required, but at this stage, you need to interact with your stakeholders more often. You need to give them confidence that yes, we are still surviving, we are doing really well, and we are here to support you. And get their feedback, learn from them. Maybe they can also help you. If you are upfront with them, then they will be helping you. Improving agility. Previously, we are taking action slowly. Some decision making was very slow, but at this stage, the decision making has to be much faster. Which tool we have to use? We have to take decision very fast. If we have to allocate more resources, different type of resources, we have to take the decision very, very fast. Now we have to think about new tools. The previous tools which were working really well may not work in this situation because your teams are working remotely. You look for tools which can help to bring a whole entire organization in one place. that allows you to work from anywhere in the world. The data is already on the cloud data center. So there are number of tools. If you do need information about that, feel free to contact me. I do have access to some information. And governance, look for the governance. What governance will work in the current arrangement? And we also have to keep thinking about new normal. So once we are out of COVID, in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, what will be the situation? What will be the vision and the plan? You start thinking from now and how we're going to implement. So if you can divide into multiple phases, we have 4 phases. Phase 0, this is where we look for the continuity, project, program, and portfolio continuity. How can we continue with our existing projects? Don't think about going for new project, new technology at this stage. Phase 1, focus on sustaining the project resources and execution. Can we sustain our current resources and still execute our projects? Phase 2 is the realignment of project and program as per the current strategy of the organization. And phase 3, that's where we look for the long-term strategic alignment of the portfolio. So some immediate action you can take. This can help you to reduce some of the big disasters. So most of the companies, most of the organizations already have business continuity plans. And those plans were meant for some tsunami or big flood or some terrorist attack, something else. May or not, they have not planned for this kind of situation. So you need to still look at the business continuity plan and see what else we have to change for this situation, current situation. We already have lots of information in that, the phone numbers and how to reach out to people. So look at that with adding more information. Identify the action as is, the current action. So stay without starting something new, stay with the current projects and programs. Try to deliver them most effectively. Seek references. So see, in the past when we had other issues, something similar, the other viruses, Ebola virus or other thing, how people have dealt, how people have survived, and how can we survive in this situation? Learn from them. So that's why we have lesson learned. Act swiftly. As I've been telling you, you need to act fast. You cannot just, depend on multiple reviews and decision making, but you need to take action very, very fast. Identify option in hands. You probably already have some option with you. Look at all the options. It was not viable earlier, but maybe these are more viable now in the current situation. You check them. Evaluate the cost factors. Yes, it may not be same cost. It may be lower, it may be more. Look at that and fulfill the doable commitments. What commitment we have? We may have hundreds of commitments, but which one we can do in this situation at fastest? Possibly, you still thrive. You excite your customer, stakeholders. Communication is always very important. Is always key for your success of the project programs. And you probably know this is, because of lack of communication or bad communication, we have seen project failing. So in this situation, when we are going through this pandemic situation and people are working remotely with less resources compared to other time, we need to be in more communication, making sure they are still at the best fit. They are doing well, they may be impacted because of the family member has, in some kind of some problem because they have to hospitalize because of COVID. They are impacted financially or some other reason. We need to find out. So we have to be in more communication with them. So there are a few questions you can ask to yourself, to team members. What do they feel the timing of the stand-up calls or frequency, etc.? So you probably have a weekly or daily meetings with them. So if you are in agile environment, you have a every morning 9 o'clock meeting, which may not work in this situation because now the people are with their family. The kids are also at home. Everybody is at home. So the morning time may not work for them. Ask them if this is still okay because you want their presence, mental presence. So give them option. Instead of 9 o'clock, can we meet 10 o'clock? Are their family and people around them are safe and doing well? Very important question. Are they are safe, their family members are safe, they're doing well. What can we do to improve the current style of collaboration? Is there a better way? We can collaborate. Instead of a phone call, we may have a Zoom call, which I think is a very common nowadays. Instead of just normal call, just a status reporting, maybe ask some interesting things happening or maybe something else. Try to engage with them more often. Not just ask question about the status, what's happening, which is a common thing which you're going to do anyway, but ask something else. So what is the situation on the ground? Local government bodies, what is happening in that? Because may not be in Riyadh, maybe other part of the Saudi Arabia where they're working, they're having more impact. So understand that situation. Are the resources, the phone, internet, laptop, enough for them? So, most people already have the internet connection. But that internet connection was sufficient for one or two people, for watching or doing some work here and there. But now your whole family is in home. And like in my case, my two kids, both of them are studying, and they always, they have the class in the daytime. At this time when I'm talking, they are also having class. My wife is working. So all of us are using same internet. So at times the internet may not be enough. My internet is, I think, okay, but many times internet may not be enough. The laptop they have is old, not working, it's not fast enough. The phone call may not be, the phone is not working or something else happen. Ask them. Do they need any other support? Because earlier, when you are going to the offices, getting support from IT people was easy. But now, because you're working remotely, the access to the IT people is not that easy now. So find out how we can help, or your team can help them. What would be the good time slot to communicate with them with ease and focus for longer communications? Maybe in the afternoon or maybe in the evening, that can work. So communication is always good. So look at things to do immediately. Something like use multi-channel communication nowadays. IMO or WhatsApp. I don't know. WhatsApp is not very popular. I think sharing message is okay, but you cannot call using WhatsApp in Saudi most of the time. But see what are the tools available for your local, for your country or for your locality. Things to do post COVID. We need to look for we streamline the communication. We cannot rely on the social media communication, like WhatsApp. You cannot just share any information there. Yes, some of the information, I'm running late, or the project is late, or something. That's okay. But when time comes for the confidential information, we need to have very well protected communication channels. So look for that. And the new normal, you need to look at the better strategies. If this thing happen again in future, at least we are more ready. Okay. So you can use this empathy meter. And probably most you are thinking, what is empathy meter now? So as we know, our staff is working from other part of the world, maybe different. They are working from home. So they have different situations. Some people are feeling very stressed. Some are frustrated. Some they do understand. Some people supporting this work, and the compassion. So we need to find out where they stand at the moment. Is there a way we can do this? Yes, we do have. We can use empathy meter to figure out where they are in the situation. So you can create a simple spreadsheet for your team members or for yourself to understand how they are feeling with the current situation, the satisfaction level, family. When we are working, when we have to go offices, uh, we have to leave our kids at home, or maybe dropping to school, and everything was happening around, but you are not seeing your family that often. But now you're seeing family more often. Sometimes it's too much. But yeah, you need to see how they're feeling with the current family situation. Maybe they're happy with this. I'm happy because last year this time, the family of four, we were in four different cities and three countries. During that time, my wife was in Australia, Sydney, and I was in Dubai. My boy was in San Francisco. My daughter was in Chicago. So four people, different places. But now, for last 9 months, we are under one roof, and this is I feel it's a blessing actually, to have everybody together, and we still see each other, we talk to each other, we have more better family time. But what we are missing, social cohesion. But when we are going to offices, we used to go out for tea, coffee, lunches together. We spend time with our friends, but now that is missing. Find out how they are missing, how much they are missing this part. But yes, you not have may not have physical meeting, but you still talk to your friends and your colleagues. You may be happy with that situation. Important thing to know about health, how they're coping with the health. Uh, Not only COVID, but it can be because now they're spending more time in front of computer, and that may be impacting their back, their neck, their head. They may have more headaches. Sorry, they're gaining more fat. So they may not. They may be good situation. Like I'm utilizing this time because I can maintain my yoga routine. I can maintain my. So I'm okay. I'm happy with this. But many people are not coping with this. You need to find out how they're coping. The stress level, because the current workload. Believe it or not, many people are working more harder than the previously. One is because company has reduced the headcount, so the amount of work is still same and falling on the some small number of people. So find out how stressed they are. Are they feeling stable? Some people not feeling stable because the company um, have a plan to reduce the size. They don't know what's the situation they are in. Some companies, the people working for entertainment industry or airline industry or some other industry which are directly impacted by COVID. So they are always in stress. Some people are impacted, some people may not be impacted, but they are stressed just by thinking that they may be the next people to go. Look at the efficiency. Are they reskilling themselves? How their interactions happening? Are they flexible? Productivity, is the productivity going up? Because you don't have to travel. Some people are traveling 1 hour, 45 minutes in the traffic. They don't have to now. So some people are more productive. Or some people, after repeatedly staying at home, the productivity can also go down. Execution, how they're executing the work. Do they maintain to-do list? Are they scheduling effectively? The work is happening as they're planning. Are they building any capabilities? Yes, the work is there, but this is time when they can build their capabilities. Yes, there's not we don't run the physical classes, but they can benefit from these remote devices, remote people, and they can access more people outside. And digital learning, yes, your company might have some digital learning, LinkedIn, or maybe some other places you can find some digital learning. Their equipments, they are happy with the equipment, or you may have to upgrade them. So there are 15 points. You can give 0, 1, 2. 2 when they're very happy. 1 is just neutral. 0 when they're not with that situation. And accordingly, you can put them, and the spreadsheet can tell you whether they are where they are at the moment. If they are in this situation, you are doing good. But if they are here, then you have to do something for them. So there are project constraints. You look at going to the digital wherever possible, because now everything is on digital, on the edge. You cannot physically go anywhere. So maybe better to have on AWS or some cloud system. So look for those systems. Establish new collaboration channels. So it may be time to build a relationship with the other channels, other marketing channels or sales channels or support channel. Let's say you are in Riyadh, but your customer is in Dammam or Jeddah. So try to collaborate with the local companies there. You cannot travel, but they can travel for you, locally. That's the alternate vendor arrangements. Look for any legal aspects. So if you're doing this kind of arrangement, you need to go through the dots and T's, all these, making sure you understand the terms and conditions. Your legal team is involved. Look for the support structure. Your government may have announced some incentives. Look for that. That can help you and your team. If you are in the startup, your company is starting, yes, investors are low at the moment, but there are still investors. Try to figure out. They may need a little bigger chunk of your business, but they can still invest. And if your company already insurance, your company has insurance policies, business insurance, something, maybe check with them or look at the paperwork. You may recover some money from the insurance company. So the new normal, we know it's a new normal. We have to do short term, but we have to look for the long term as well. So vision and mission, yes, currently we have to survive somehow, but look at the future vision. How are we going to thriving in this new after the new COVID is done? And look for you have to have disruptive mindset. So previously we were very conservative. We are not taking decision that fast, but now we look for how we can improve our performance, PMO's performance, project performance by using some tools, some collaborative tools. And don't resist for change. Yes, there are some change which can impact. Try to adopt such changes. If you don't change, somebody else will change and they can overtake you. So, and the lots of example, Nokia, BlackBerry and Kodak. So everybody talks about them. They were not able to change as fast as other companies. And that's why those big names are no more in the market. Nobody knows about them anymore. So if you don't change, somebody else will change and they will take over your position. So the virtual model, this was, last year, this was the model for future, but this is the model of now. And for many organizations, it's going to stay as it is. And I know one company, they had four floors in one of the building in New Jersey. So out of 4 floors, they have only 2 rooms now. All the three floors are given back or they're leased. And they in the contract, they are telling people this is a remote working arrangement. So the people should not expect that they will have an office. And this is where my wife has joined recently. And the contract is clearly saying that this is remote working. So in a way, it's good for her because now she can spend time, not even during COVID, after COVID as well. So this will become normal for many, many companies, especially IT companies. They will have less people in offices. They still they will allow people to work from home or remotely anywhere in the world. So look for the guidelines for strategizing. Some of the projects need to be reinitiated. Look for the pros and cons, impact on the program and portfolio goals, sustainability analysis. How long can we prolong this project? Maybe if the project which are finishing on 3 months, we have to deliver in the maybe long duration. You may have to do some resource leveling because we cannot hire many people, but we still have to do some projects, many projects. Assessment of the projects. Maybe some project need to be stopped because of current situation or current lack of resources. Some people, some project you can still start because we have the right skills available for that. Identify any changes because of COVID. The situation, the strategy has changed because the portfolio has changed, the project and program has to change. Preparedness for the project. Preparedness to sustain in the future in such similar pandemic. Yes, we are learning, we have lesson learned, but we need to make sure if this happen again, we are still ready, more ready. Renewal of situation and still look for the emerging opportunities. So while we have a situation, but you may find some opportunities within your organization, within outside organization. You may be able to do a lot of remote work, not only for your organization, but maybe some freelancing work. Or you can support your kids doing that. New normal, yes, it's a new normal on the current environment. We still look at the return of the social economic normalcy. Doing the impact analysis. The impact analysis based on the cost, budget, time, and the stakeholder management. Business benefit, revisiting the business benefits at various level of businesses. So the benefit we are initially previously looking for may not be there, but we may have to see different or new or revised benefits. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah, Javed, if you have any question, please feel free to bring them.
Yeah, yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
It's a great presentation. It's nice to have such an insight, in-depth knowledge about pandemic which we are facing right now.
Yeah, good. So I have a few more slides. Let me go through this. So guys, this is very important. This slide is very, very important. This will help you to understand or decide your goals. So when you have a short-term or long-term goals, it may be for offices or for your personal goal. So one of the goal can be, let's say you want to do PGMP. So question you're asking, I have a role, I always want to do PGMP. Is it hard? Yes, it's not. PGMP is not easy. Yes, it's hard. Is it worth the trouble? Now you're looking the cost and benefits. It's worth of trouble. Yes. Will it impact me, my life, my career positively? If it is impacting, it's going to give you some positivity. Do it. If not going to change anything, you need to think again. So if it's hard, then no, it's not hard. Then you can do it. Do it now. So I will suggest you to use this kind of flow diagram for analyzing your goals, and hopefully you will find better way of doing your goals even faster. If you do decide to do PGMP, PFMP, you can always come to me, and you can discuss with me. You may have some situation with the financial. I can always help people by payment plans or something else. Don't worry. Look, Dharam, you're very costly. My fees is not cheap. But I provide value, and I will ensure that whatever program you're going to join with me, you will have the value from this program or my program. So when I'm teaching in PGMP, PFMP, we're not just focusing on the certificates given to you, more about the learning from those certificates. So in conclusion, yes, it's a dark time. It's a not a pleasant situation, but we still have to find the opportunities, the way we're going to recover, how we're going to do the better in the current situation and future situation. You need to look after yourself, you look after family, look after your family, your friends. So there are various ways we can help each other. One of the most important way you can help yourself to see where are you at the moment and what other things you can do. Yes, pandemic will go away sooner or later, but are you ready for the current and future situation? Because believe it or not, many organizations will start letting people go. But if you have right attitude, if you have the right experience, the right certificates, they will hesitate to let you go. So they will try to keep you. I mean, they may have to let go other people. At least they will keep you. So this is where the survival of fittest come in picture. If you are the fittest person, you will thrive in the organization. All right, so this is it from me. I hope I have done justice to your time. And if you do need to talk to me, there are various ways you can connect with me. This is my, you can book some time with me. You can note down. This is my email address. You can directly approach me. This is my phone number. You can connect me through WhatsApp as well. And I'm available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, so you can check me wherever I can. So guys, you are not alone. There are people around the world, around in your offices, in your organization, or in your PMI friends, like Saudi Arabia chapter, and people like me are there to help each other. So please feel to reach out to at least to me. I will be helping you. You don't have to call me just for talking about certificate, or you can talk to me anything. Yes, I'm busy. It's not that I'm sitting there doing nothing. But if you have booked some time with me, I will be giving you whatever you come and talk to me. Whether you take my services or not, doesn't matter. If you book my time with me, you have my time. So with this, I like to hand over to Javed. Uh,
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was very nice session and very good informative things were shared by Mr. Dharam Singh. Uh, Thank you for this interesting talk, Mr. Dharam Singh, and for this great information. And we are happy to answer your questions regarding any of the informations in the webinar. And thank you for all of your questions. If you have any questions left for today's event, feel free to contact us on PMI KSA chapter. We will be happy to help and support you. At the end of our webinar today, I just want to thank everyone for their time, and I would like to thank you all for joining us up and hope you enjoyed it and see you next time. And we have a one question regarding Mr. Dharam Singh. Can we have
sure,
it? Yeah,
sure,
it's
please.
from Mr. Anand Krishnan. In the face of COVID-19 crisis, the production and planning process have become subjected to the level of stress. It's unpredicted. So there are several challenges thrown up due to this crisis. And production capacity is now subject to workforce absence and social distancing requirements that impacts throughout. So how challenging is this and how we are going to overcome from this? We are already briefed in the presentation regarding the layoffs and manpower reduction and all.
Yeah, this is a new reality. We all have to face this. The production, you are in car industry or any industry you are in, the production level has gone down, and this is the time we may have to look for the automating few things.
Mm.
Yes, we have to have social distancing. We have to have the mask. So you need to provide all kind of equipments to make sure that even if they are working together, they are maintaining some distance with the mask on, with maybe shield, put some shields in front of their face. So as the organization, you can provide them as much as you can. Yes, we can't do much about the situation we are in, but try to utilize as many things available which can help you to your team to still work together and still be productive. And some of the work, if they can work from home, some of the work I know in production is you cannot have a work from home, but whatever can be done from remotely or from outside, let them do. I know I'm not a production expert, but
But
this is
just
where I can tell you use any tools, any specialized tool which can automate the work or get, yeah,
okay.
given you
Okay,
some
thank you.
information.
Yeah, it was because basically in Saudi Arabia we are dealing with the oil and gas production
Yeah.
most of so
I think if they
okay.
can put some shield and mask together, on the face,
Mhm.
that can still do. I mean, one important thing: if somebody is sick, they may or may not have full symptoms. Let them stay away from the workforce because you don't want to impact other people because of one person. So
Yeah.
that step you should take as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for all questions. If you have any questions, we'll Feel free to contact us on PMI KSA and we'll be happy to help you.
All right.
I would like
One
to
last
thank you all.
thing.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
one last thing. If you are planning to do PGMP, PFMP, or any other certificate, and you are listening or you're watching this webinar, as we have arrangement with PMI KSA, we can offer you 20% discount over fees. And this can be huge fee discount for some of the courses. So please reach out to me with any of them we are provided. So, and make sure you tell me, because normally I don't, it's not discount is not available. But if you tell me that I attended this webinar, you mentioned about this code, so I will be happy to offer you the code and get you to the program, so whether the PGMP, PFMP, or PMP, or any other certificate you want to do.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great thing.
yeah. So thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for joining this. And thank you for my friends in PMI KSA. It was really privileged to be part of your group. And I hope to come back to you guys. You might see me physically in one of your future programs when I visit to Saudi Arabia. I have visited once, and that was no, I don't, I'm sure that was not my last visit. There will be many visits to come. So thanks, Javed. Thanks, Mohammed.
Thank you, sir. We'll close the meeting. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.